Welcome everyone. In this module, we're diving deep into how to start coding on the Raspberry Pi. We'll cover the essential concepts, the best language for beginners, recommended tools for a smooth workflow, and we'll walk through creating and running a simple Python script. By the end, you'll have a solid foundation to expand into more complex projects. First of all, what is programming? Programming is the act of instructing a computer to perform tasks through lines of code. On the Raspberry Pi, your instructions are processed by the same CPU and memory used by any standard computer, just on a smaller scale. Going over some basic concepts. Variables are used for data storage, things like numbers, text. Functions are reusable blocks of code to perform specific tasks. Logic or conditionals are if-else statements that help make decisions. Loops repeat actions. Examples are for, and while loops. So you might say, why even start on a Raspberry Pi? Firstly, it's low cost and simple. It's great for beginners to experiment without risking expensive hardware. And secondly, it comes with built-in GPIO pins. It provides a gateway to physical computing if you want to control LEDs, sensors, or motors. So the overview of programming languages available are as follows. There is Python. Pros is that it's easy to read. There's a massive community. There's a pre-installed pros, easy to read, massive community, pre-installed on Raspberry Pi operating system, lots of libraries, including GPIO access. Python can be used for automation, data manipulation, quick scripts, and prototyping. You can also use C++, which is fast when it comes to execution, more control over hardware, widely used in performance-critical application. Ideal case would be in robotics, embedded systems, or when you need speed. For Java, the pro is that it's cross-platform, object-oriented, robust tooling such as Eclipse, and ideally, this would be for larger, modular projects needing multi-platform deployment. Going over Scratch, which is block-based, super beginner-friendly, especially for kids. Ideally, teaching fundamental logic or quick demonstration of programming concepts without diving into code syntax. And there are other languages that can be supported by the Raspberry Pi, but focusing on one or two for a strong foundation is what you need. When it comes to choosing an editor or IDE, I would recommend Thonny because it's already pre-installed. It highlights error in an easy to understand way, and it's perfect for debugging. And to access Thonny, all you have to do is go to run and you are able to run it from your Raspberry Pi. Visual Studio, it's powerful. It has powerful extensions, multi-language support, great for collaborative coding. And if you want it on your Raspberry Pi, all you have to do is just type in sudo apt install code, and Nano can be used for terminal editors. The pro is that it's lightweight, minimal, and overhead. And the use case would be for quick changes on when you're SSH'd into your Pi. It's perfect for advanced users comfortable with command line workflows. When it comes to setting up your workspace, ensure you have a dedicated folder. For example, if you want to save a project that you labeled hello.py, you can create a folder called projects, and under projects, you can have another project called hello world, and under that project, you can save in hello.py. So now let's go over a quick Python example. So if you have print hello world from the Raspberry Pi, what it does is that it would just simply print the hello from the Raspberry Pi once you run it, either through Thonny or through a terminal. If you have name equals school member and then print hey there and then quotation plus name, all the code will be included in the description. So this would be printing hey there and then school member. And to go over a loop really quickly, if you have for I in range 3, print this is a loop iteration, it would be printing this 3 times. And some useful coding tips: use meaningful variable names to keep your code readable, add comments to describe what sections of your code do. Once you have hello.py saved and you run this either using Thonny or using the terminal python 3 hello.py, you'd be able to see the output of your message. And some common errors are syntax error, which happens if you've mistyped something or missed a bracket or colon, And there's a name error happens when you use a variable name that doesn't exist. When it comes to verification and debugging, check the console output for any unexpected results on Thonny, and you can also use print statements to check variable values if you're stuck. Congratulations on writing and running your first program on the Raspberry Pi. You've just unlocked the gateway to endless possibilities. Remember, if you're just starting out, practicing daily will help build your muscle memory and explore a different language. Once you're comfortable with one, just stick to that one, and feel free to ask questions in our community if you get stuck. In the upcoming modules, we'll dive deeper into GPIO programming and more advanced Python project. See you there and keep coding.